If you ignore accrued expenses, your financial statements will be misleading. Both your income statement and your balance sheet will be incomplete, and your auditors will certainly catch it with basic audit procedures. So how do you avoid this? You record accrued expenses at period end as part of your close. These are what we call adjusting journal entries. If you've been studying accounting, you probably heard the term before. And if not, no worries, I do have 2 videos that walk through adjusting entries in general and 3 others that walk through the 3 others: prepaid expenses, deferred revenue, and accrued revenue. You can find them in the links below. In this video, we're going to focus specifically on accrued expenses. So let's jump in. An accrued expense is an expense that has already been incurred but hasn't been paid and hasn't been recorded yet. Meaning your company has already received the benefit, but nothing has been recorded in the books yet because no formal invoice has been received. So to properly follow accrual accounting, we still have to record that expense in the period that it was incurred. But here's the challenge. Most transactions get recorded when something triggers them, like receiving an invoice or making a payment. But with accrued expenses, neither of those things have happened yet. There is no invoice, there is no payment. So if you don't make an adjustment, the expense is missing from your financials. And that's exactly why your statements become misleading. So how do you actually identify the accrued expenses and make sure they're recorded correctly? In practice, companies actively think about what expenses have already been incurred but haven't been recorded yet. There are some obvious ones. Things like payroll or wages earned but not yet paid, interest expense on loans, utilities that have been used but not billed. To formalize the process, companies maintain a checklist as part of their period end close process. They use the checklist to help them make sure that these types of accruals are recorded consistently every single period. Now, beyond the obvious items, there are also accruals that are not recurring and require a bit more analysis. For example, professional fees incurred but not yet invoiced, bonuses earned but not yet approved or paid, services received late in the period with billing delays. These are not always part of a standard checklist. They require you to step back and think through what actually happened during the period. So what does this actually look like in practice? Let's walk through a few examples, starting simple and then building into situations that require more judgment. Let's start with utilities. Let's say your company used electricity in March, but the bill won't arrive until April. Assume the estimated cost is $500. First, you think, what happened economically? We used electricity. That creates an expense. Second, have we paid for it yet? No, so we have an obligation, which is a liability. So the entry is, you debit utilities expense for the $500 and you credit accrued expenses for the $500. Now let's take a more judgment-based example. Your company has been working with a law firm through March, but they invoice after month end. Based on hours incurred, you estimate legal fees of $8,000. So first, what happened economically? Legal services were provided. That's an expense. Second, we have paid for it? No. So we recognize a liability based on our estimate. The journal entry is, you debit legal expenses for the $8,000 and you credit accrued expenses for the $8,000. This is where judgment comes in because you are recording an estimate before you have the final invoice. Now let's look at a one-off situation. Your company attends a trade show at the end of March. You receive services, booth setup, logistics, vendor support, but invoices don't come in until April. Let's say the estimated cost is $12,000. So first, again, what happened economically? We received services, that's an expense. Second, have we paid for it yet? No. So we recognize a liability. And the journal entry is, you debit your trade show expense for $12,000 and you credit accrued expenses for $12,000. Across all 3 examples, the logic is the same. What did we receive? That becomes an expense. Do we still owe for it? Yes, that's a liability. So the entry is always, you debit the expense, credit liability. Same logic every time. What do we get and what do we owe? Here is the GAAP framework piece because I want you to understand the why, not just the mechanics. Under accrual basis accounting, which is what GAAP requires, we follow what's called the matching principle. The matching principle says recognize expenses in the same period as the revenue they helped to generate. If your sales team closed deals in March that earned them commissions, those commissions are a March expense. It doesn't matter that you won't actually cut the commission checks until the next month. The commissions helped produce those revenues during that period, so they belong in the income statement during that same period. Cash basis accounting will say no expense until you write the check. That's how a lot of small businesses owners think about it intuitively. Under accrual accounting and GAAP, we don't wait for cash. We record the expense when the obligation arises. Without accruals, two things happen. First, your income statement overstates profit because expenses are missing. Second, your balance sheet understates liabilities because you're not showing what you actually owe. And the auditors notice, lenders notice. Anyone reading your financials to make a decision are now working with incomplete data. This is why accruals aren't optional for GAAP compliant financials. They are how the books get from raw transactions to financial statements that actually reflect economic reality. So before we wrap up, let's clarify something that gets confused all the time. Accrued expenses versus accounts payables. Both are liabilities, but they come from very different situations. Accrued expenses happened before the invoice exists. You've already received the service, but there is no bill yet. So you either know the amount or you estimate it, and then you record the expense. Accounts payable, on the other hand, happens after the invoice is received. At that point, the amount is known, and the entry is triggered by the invoice itself. So think of it this way. Accrued expenses are timing-based, known or estimated, recorded through adjusting entries. Accounts payable is document-based, they're exact, and recorded when the invoice arrives. If you skip accrued expenses, your numbers might look clean, but they're not accurate. And that's all for today. If this was helpful, make sure you like the video and subscribe, and check out the rest of the Adjusting Entries playlist. And don't forget to leave a comment if you want to request a video on a specific topic. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.